What's going on, guys? Connor and Shane, we're back. So today, I'm gonna bring you guys just a couple gems that, in my opinion, have I think just over the next 12 months, 18 months, however long this bull run's gonna be. I'm gonna give you guys, like I said, a few gems that I think, bottom line, need to be on your radar, or you should be invested in. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. But these are going to be gems that, in my opinion, can do unbelievable in this bull run. I just dropped a video yesterday, kind of talking about a bunch of great ones as well. But like I said, gonna just talk about a few here. So let's get into it. Let me do this real quick too. All right. So we're gonna head over to CoinGecko, the classic. So the market's still, market's been not doing too much lately. Over the last few days, few weeks, still just seeing the same thing. I've seen some coins kind of move, do nice, decent runs, but also a lot of coins haven't done really anything. But yeah, we've seen Pepe Fork has been ripping, and I don't even know what that is. Staying heavily away from that. So, bottom line, the first gem I'm going to bring up is going to be IXS. This is IX Swap. It's up 22% actually. It's pretty good today. But yeah, it's been on a dip for a while too. The last, I'd say, few days, it's had a huge dip. At least 30-40% down, if not more. If you guys can see that right here. Like I said, the previous high was around 43 cents. I think there was around 60-something million market cap. Right now, it's back down to around in between 18 to 22, which, in my opinion, is a solid range to be looking in as far as, in the long term. I could really see a project like this run well past its all-time highs. I think it's going to be easy because, like I've talked about on the channel before, RWAs are going to be one of the biggest narratives in crypto. I still have firm belief, and nothing has changed on that front for me. So IX Swap, what they are, it's basically going to be a DEX for whether it's security tokens or whatever you want to call them, but just for RWA projects. It's going to be basically like the regulated DEX, and I think it's just going to be used day in, day out by institutions, supposedly. So we'll see. They got a lot of backing, even by Coinbase as well. But IX Swap is massive. This is definitely one of my favorites. We also got Revest here too. Revest right here. Revest is down a little bit. I mean, looking at the market cap though, Revest it's very low. I think it's perfect. It is still at beautiful levels. Great entry levels too. Because even if we zoom out the chart, this is zoomed out. So yeah, it did launch what, 2021? Yeah, so it's been around for a while, but this is just a beast. I think a lot of these RWA projects, even if they're fairly older, given a couple years old, there hasn't been a real demand for, I guess, institutional full out finance. But this is where I think again, even if they're older projects or newer, I think when RWAs do have their massive next leg up, I don't think it's going to matter necessarily because a lot of these projects too have been building their infrastructure now, for years. Like a lot of them aren't new. A lot of them have been out for a while. But I think in a sense like that, that's going to be very good as far as for their development, especially if they have very strong teams behind them, just like Revest does and just like IXS. There's obviously so many more that I could dive into as far as for RWAs, but these two are just some of my highest conviction RWA coins that are just, they've been on my radar for a while, and, anytime soon I don't really plan on changing that. And so we got even another AI coin too. So we got Enk AI. This one's up pretty heavily today too. But again, this one has been chilling before. They were Noise GBT, if you ever heard of them. And again, I don't think this is the right chart here, but Let's say this is actually what the chart looks like. I'm going to show you here. So we're going to take out this. We'll start it from here. So literally from right here, this is exactly what the NKI chart looks like. So yeah, from right here, it's come down. It found some sort of bottom here. Had a nice little move to the upside, but it came right back down. And it's basically right around this ground floor level. I think is so key to actually get into projects like that. Because if you buy the bottom, you're kind of minimizing your downside, but also maximizing the potential gains as long as you just hold. Just hodling anytime soon into the bull run, you're destined to make crazy returns, crazy X's on some of these coins. But even a project like NKI, what they're doing is they're building a decentralized LLM, basically a decentralized chat GPT. Actually, I'm going to pull up their Twitter too, because it's kind of good to show you guys, like kind of why it's so, in my opinion, a huge player right now. Because I think ChatGPT alone is valued at, I don't know how many billion, whether it's 50 billion, 100 billion. So we're just going to type in NKI here. ENQAI. Even on their page alone, like they tweet a bunch of stuff too, just, with their LLM already. Let me see if I can show you one here too. Because like the main issue is going to be, I guess your freedom of speech. Obviously, when you ask ChatGPT a bunch of different questions, a lot of times it can't answer it, based on biases, based on whatever you want to call it. But when it comes to something like NKI, you can ask it literally anything and it's going to give you an answer. You can ask the most messed up, screwed up questions, the most controversial stuff, and it's still going to give you an answer. Now, let's see. I was going to say, there are a couple posts. Let me see if this is one of them. I don't think this is it, but yeah, I'm not sure what some of these posts are, but that's crazy. Let's see what they got here. So I guess here, this is what I was talking about. Like a question like this, ChatGPT just is not able to assist you with a certain request. This is for a lot of different things. If you ever come across, I guarantee if you use ChatGPT for a little while, there's going to be some things that you've probably asked it that it can't do. But for example, like NKI here can give you, some sort of info, which it's talking about a keylogger. I'm actually not even sure what a keylogger is. But that's just the key factor in why something like this can be so bullish. I could see, especially if they build out a full out DApp with this, there's really no telling where this can go. I just think it's that itself is huge. And the market cap is, I think, around 16 million. Yeah, 16 million right now. Basically, almost fully diluted, which is huge too. That's pretty big. Like I said, this chart, this is not the chart. I'm pretty sure this was Noise GBT. But yeah, basically from right around here, December 11th on, that's what the main NKI chart looks like. But that project itself, yeah, I'm very bullish on it, especially just being so small for the potential of what it can become. But NKI is huge too. Let's see. That's three that we got here that I'm super bullish on. I've talked about Fidium or Phi. That's a very, in my opinion, still very bullish. DeFi protocol. That one's still gonna run like crazy. It's literally just gonna be getting in at decent levels, decent dips, and just holding throughout this whole bull run. And a lot of people just won't be able to do that though. That's the thing. Because hodling is hard, believe it or not. Like you have to be able to withstand moves of 3, 5, 600% to the upside, then see a 78% dump, then to see another 22x on your coin, and then if you plan on selling it, take some profits, Then you're going to probably see another dip, and then it's going to probably do something again. The ups and downs are literally like on crack when it comes to crypto. In a bull run, if you've never experienced a bull run before, like you will see what I'm talking about. I give it literally like 7 months from now, 8 months. Second half of 2024 into most of 2025 is going to be absolutely nuts in my opinion. Unless there's just some weird stuff that goes on, some random things that happen in the economy, you know, and anything can happen though. That's the thing. But like I said, this market's just gonna go haywire. It's gonna go wild. But again, you just gotta give it time. Get in on dips now. Whether today, this week, this month, and if it continues to drop, this is gonna be the best entry you're going to get for the rest of the bull run. So just understand how important that is right now. Because half the game is the research, and half the game is just getting in at prices where you might feel like, why am I buying this right now? This is not going anywhere. But usually when you feel that, that's a good sign. That's a great sign. Because that is how you play the investment game. Mainly it's going against like your main thoughts. Because when no one talks about a coin or it's very undervalued, that's when you have to get in. Because crypto is an attention-based game. There's minimal projects in crypto that actually generate real returns, real actual money through a bull run and a bear market, So it's all speculative and it's attention-based. When you're playing an attention game, you got to play it like that. When the attention is on something, that's going to be your time to get out of it or to be, just heavily watching for when to sell. When no one is talking about something, that is the best time to be entering or even just looking, which in my opinion too, even DeSci projects, this is going to be another gem I want to bring up today. I'm actually going to make a full out video on this this weekend or into next week. But Data Lake here at 14 million. I think this is an absolute killer project. Not going to go into it yet. So like I said, I'm going to make a full video on it, but Lake is a absolute gem in my opinion. It's a DeSci project, decentralized science. It's a newer coin. Market cap is still ripe for minimum 20 to 50x long term. And it's in a narrative that hasn't really had its full out major pump yet. And this is why I really like this. Very strong fundamentals here too. And this is why I like finding these gems, guys. But like Data Lake long term gonna be a killer project. Another one to have on your radar. Yesterday, the days before, I talked about Token Site, OLAS, and obviously Track. Those are any of these 6, 7 that I've mentioned, guys. Just get in and hold. Make it a big chunk of your portfolio and just don't even care about the price. In my opinion, I think any and all of these are just ripe for exponential gains. All you gotta do is just get in at a decent price. Even Data Lake at 2 cents is, it's on a dip. It's not bad. If you play the game from a long-term perspective, that's how I do it from the channel here. That's what I like to do. You really can't lose. So, that's kind of what I got for you guys. Just a bunch of gems. It's, when the market's slow and it's kind of lull, not doing too much, this is just time to get into the, top performing assets that, whether I know, or just across the board, this is when you should be looking and getting into top projects. Like I've said too, just with, where crypto is actually going to be going. It's going to depend also on what Bitcoin does. Because again, Bitcoin's at 43K, but, we could see this drop still pretty heavily from here for a little while. But at the same time, no one knows. It could continue to the upside well into 2025 from now. We don't know. And again, I've talked about it so many times. I still think some sort of major retracement is in the books. Like a little bit further down from here, maybe 35, 36. That could happen. But again, even so many projects are on such discounts, even at levels right now. It's just gonna be DCA. It's a DCA game. Because again, if you're getting in at levels now, it's still very good, but just don't be surprised if Bitcoin does decide to go the other way. It's only going to be better opportunities and entries if you continue to DCA, even at lower pricing. It might make no sense to you mentally. You're going to be like, well, why am I continuing to buy and continuing to buy when price just keeps dumping? But I'm telling you, that's how you have to play this game. Because you're never going to time the perfect entry on a coin, on a project. But you got to go against what everyone else thinks and what everyone else believes. If you're only buying when you're seeing Bitcoin pull 20% moves and then you're like, oh, now I need to buy every single coin, you're going to miss out on unreal opportunities. And I would be all in right now. Except again, my bias is that I still believe there's some downside. Once we see any sort of downside that I'm talking about, I'll bring it up on the channel. I'll be screaming to you guys, this is it. Like, get in now and don't miss the boat. But again, we just don't know if downside is going to come. So many people are very bullish right now, which, I'm not going to say anything good or bad about it. Because most people on Twitter, most people on social media, if you're very new to investing, you're new to bull markets, everyone around you is going to be obviously forever bullish in a bull market. And when you see someone call out something that you don't like, you're obviously going to throw it to the side and be like, no, it's not going down. It's going to continue to go to the moon. And I'm not a moon boy by any means. I like to give realistic targets and stuff like that too. But like I said, just keep watch and prepare to start DCAing now. And if it goes lower, DCA more and more. And if Bitcoin does drop to mid-30s at some point over the next 3 to 4 months, make sure you go all in on this next major cascade downside if it happens. If not, like I said, just get in on good dips on projects and just don't even look at price. That's how excuse me. That's how I play this game. And that's how I played it last bull run, and I was very successful. And I'm going to do it again, And that's the difference. I'm doing it with you guys. I'm doing it with everyone. That's why I'm here. So bottom line, that's what I got for you guys today. Just a little bit of tips in a bull market and, just seriously some of my top gems that I really don't think you can go wrong with investing in. So that's what I got for you guys today. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one.